it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Portions of this show sponsored by Hudson Honda.
Jersey Joe on the radio. My goodness gracious, what a morning. Thanks so much for staying with us. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube on am970theanswer.com. And you can, if you're listening and you're driving, it's been a wild morning. But one of the great representatives down in the Assembly of the great state of New Jersey is the man sitting next to me, Assemblyman Robert Auth. He's very, very dedicated. And I think I have to apologize to you, Assemblyman, because we were down there. They were recognizing me. I guess it was over a year ago for some Italian-American thing with my buddy Manny Alfano, and the One Voice Italian group was there. And it was such a rush, and there were people in the gallery, and they were going to vote right there on the, I think, on the right to die or some kind of very vital issue. And I was kind of hustled out, and I saw you handed me something, and I never got to say thank you. How are you? Good to see you. So I apologize for that.
Oh, no apology necessary.
You know, right in the assembly there. And thank you for all the good work that you do for the great state of New Jersey, sir.
Well, thank you. You know, it's very interesting that you mentioned that, because I wanted to start this morning by just bringing something to your attention. I looked through the Wall Street Journal this morning. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I read it in the Hill. And the headline is 14 states hit record low unemployment. So I want to say right now, thank you, President Trump, and thank you, EPA Director Scott Pruitt.
Yeah.
Because these states are all-time lows for unemployment, and that's because they've taken away some of the restrictions that have inhibited employment, and they are letting people do what they do best. Make money and employ people. So I know. It's great.
And then, but what do we do in New Jersey? If I can go there right on the onset here, with the tax. And listen, I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, because I'm not like that. And I'm close personal friends with Assembly, the leader down there, John Bramnick.
Good man.
He is a great guy. But there are some great people in Trenton that get it. Yet we don't create revenue. Until I'm blue in the face, Robert Auth. We don't create a revenue stream to offset the taxes. And I said to the leader, I said to Mr. Bramnick, why don't we put up Prop 13, a referendum in, so they can't raise the taxes on us? And now with Governor Murphy, I don't want to say anything bad about the guy, because he's only 4 months in. We're going to give him a chance. Hopefully Steve Sweeney will talk some sense into him. I mean, I'm just saying. But every $1.5 billion in taxes, I can't afford it personally. Assemblyman, I can't afford it. What are these people thinking?
Well, first of all, Joe, I'm like you. If I can't say something nice about somebody, I won't say anything at all.
God bless you for that.
It just doesn't work for me going that way. But I think the fact that there are some sizable differences in the Democratic caucus right now creates a situation where there may be some restraints put on the governor by his Senate and Assembly, because they know the Assembly's up for re-election next year. All of them. And then in 4 years, the Senate's going to be up again, all of them. And actually, it'll be the entire legislature, and the governor will have to run again. So those things are squarely in the front of the minds of the legislators, and we've heard grousing amongst them about issues that the governor is proposing, legalize marijuana, excessive taxes, and other things that they are not happy with. So there is some hope that there will be some thoughtful reasoning amongst their own caucus before they put some of these bills up. Because once they get put up, the bill's put up, it's going to get passed pretty much, because they have total control of both houses and the governor's mansion.
Why are they so obsessed? Why are the and not just that? Listen, Robert, if I could call you Robert, I said I could deal with the Democrats, I could deal with the liberals. I have no problem. It's the progressive socialists that are just taking hold in New York and California and now New Jersey. They're taking my state away, brother. They're taking my state away. It's a progressive mindset. They're more concerned with a sanctuary state than to help me be able to afford college for my daughter. Because I'll tell you right now, Assemblyman, I ain't getting it for free.
Oh, well, you mentioned that. I wasn't going to talk about this on today's show, but, it really came up.
Look at you, bookmarking notes and everything. Look at this guy being prepared, fellas. Come on now.
We had a really, we had a voting session on June the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
It was a probably one of the worst voting sessions for taxpayers in the state of New Jersey.
In what regard, sir?
Well, how about this one? We had S699, which was provides financial aid to undocumented immigrants for college. Now, you just said no one's giving you anything.
No one's showing up for me.
I paid for my son's college when he went through school, and there are citizens in this country that can't get into school. There are people in my district, the district I'm proud to represent, that are teetering on foreclosure, and yet we're going to spend $13 million in this bill to send undocumented immigrants to college.
Yeah.
We recently had some undocumented immigrant graduate Rutgers Law School, and they accepted him into the bar. I mean, the whole notion of him being here illegally is against what the New Jersey bar represents. The interesting thing, too, is every time an undocumented immigrant takes a seat in a college, it's a finite amount of seats. That means that some American citizen or some citizen from even another state, but a citizen, has to go to a private school and pay double the tuition, which is tantamount to a tax to the family.
And listen, and there's a whole dreamer thing. I mean, you got to give it to President Trump for saying 1.8 million, sure, we're going to have a path to citizenship. We don't dispute that, sure. But what they're missing, and I can't put my handle on it, what the progressives are doing by helping out. Is it just they're garnering votes, I suppose? Like Governor Cuomo just saying that people on parole now can vote. It looks like they're just trying to amass the votes as opposed to taking care of us who get up every morning, who pay our taxes every day, who have to take care of our kids in school, the regular hardworking folks in New York and New Jersey. And this is my question. Are these politicians just using the states to jump to higher office?
Oh, I think that's certainly in the plans of certain politicians in certain states. We just passed a bill here in New Jersey also, which I was very disappointed. I didn't vote for it, but where they increased motor voter registration, and they just automatically register you to vote if you go into the motor vehicle or other agencies in New Jersey. And the interesting thing is I read an article, maybe 6 months ago, where it was identified in one state, people who were registered to vote by motor voter were then also that group of motor vehicle recipients are used by the judiciary to get a pool of jurors, and they sent them letters that said that you were required to come in for jury duty, and people were writing on the letter, sending it back, I'm not a citizen, but they were registered to vote.
Wow.
So I put a bill in that said if the judiciary gets that, they should report to the county clerk of the voter registration and take the names off the rolls. And of course, the bill is sitting on the bottom of a pile someplace. It'll never see the light of day in the current administration because this type of thing seems to be encouraged.
Assemblyman Robert Auth with us. He's a great guy doing a great job in the Assembly. And we're talking about the $1.5 billion in tax increases. And now we have the state income tax. And then even the Governor Abbott from Texas is going after Governor Murphy, saying, come on down to Texas, man. We want to create revenue. We want to create revenue. You want to create jobs. You want to bring jobs back. You don't want Gerber to leave like what's happening now. And the millionaires tax. Listen. People always go, oh, Joe, you don't have to worry about that. We all have to worry about that. Everybody's going to Florida and South Carolina, Assemblyman.
Our district, I'm proud to be running mates with Senator Cardinale and my Assembly colleague Holly Schapese. Our district was hurt severely by people moving. We had Mercedes-Benz, the entire campus backed up and left.
Right.
We had Hertz, car rental.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the guys who wash the cars in the hubcaps. I'm talking about the high-end account managers, international and national, over $100,000 a year. They packed up, left. Bubble wrap packed up and left. On and on and on. So all these companies are leaving, and they're marching with their feet for exactly what you're saying. And,
Wow.
and
we got to let you go. We appreciate you joining us. And now you always talked about divorce reform, and Lord knows I wrote the book, sir. So I'm going to be totally organic here. But when you go into a courtroom, and I know the laws are put in place to help those less fortunate, those who are in the toughest situations domestically. I understand that. But boy, the lawyers just run with this, and the judges, I think, are afraid to say anything because the laws are set. You have some vital, you have some vital divorce reforms, yes?
We were working on a few things. It's very interesting. It's not only men saying that they're getting a raw deal. Women come. It's
absolutely.
Absolutely. This is gender neutral. There's problems on both sides. I will say one thing. I thought you'd be a little bit disappointed. Unfortunately, I haven't been the bearer of good news today. But we just gave our judges a raise, $8,000 a year for the next 3 years.
Does that go through? That went through?
Passed.
Oh my Lord.
Now,
we love you, judges. We love you, but
that's okay. Now, my good friend Senator Cardinale, he's the only Republican in Bergen County, so he sees a lot of these judges that want to get into the judiciary, and he voted against it too. He said, "Hey, look, I could reduce the salary by $25,000, and I'd still have a line out the door of people that want to become judges, and the quality of the work by those judges would be the same."
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But let me ask you: Have you
Not guilty.
experienced judicial restraint and during the times that you've been involved with some of these things? Because a lot of the folks that I speak to that are involved with divorce, they say the judges are just totally unsympathetic.
Yeah, unsympathetic. There's one or two I could think of immediately that are spectacular, and they totally get it.
And they deserve credit.
That's right. They really, really do. But I have to tell you, when you go into a court, and I don't care if you're a man or woman, you're absolutely right. This is not a father, mother, husband, wife issue. Because I have a gal friend, she just paid, she still pays extraordinary. Why? She's the money earner. It's the money earner who gets hurt. And the judge sits there and thinks, you got the money, you could do it. But Your Honor, I have good months, I have bad months. Sometimes I have the money, sometimes I don't.
And then they put him in jail if you can't pay.
Boom.
And then
you can't work. Thanks for seeing the light, though, Assemblyman. And thanks for fighting the fight, Robert. And you're welcome back anytime, man.
Well, when you want to hear some more, we should talk about these bills before they vote on them so folks could go out there and call their legislators.
Let's do it. Come back next week, if you would.
Hey, I would be happy to come.
Thanks for coming in live. Go ahead.
One last thing.
Yes, sir.
I had some tax stuff, and I guess maybe we'll go over it next time, about how some of these mandates and subsidies to power companies are going to be a real tax burden on a lot of people, because they really are taxes in the billions of dollars. But after reviewing my notes yesterday, I had to call up Blue Rock Energy because I was so infuriated with the power companies. I said, I'm going to call these guys. I did. I call them up. I'll show you later on my phone. I'm checking my rates to make sure they're the real deal, and I'm going to sign up.
Phil Van Horn, Blue Rock Energy. We'll go to News Al, I know, but I want to tell you, give a plug for Phil. Thank you for saying that, because you know how long it took him to get into New Jersey? A year, because of all the regulations. But he stood fast. He said, "I want to help the people of New Jersey." I was the first customer to sign up with Blue Rock Energy. Thanks for saying that.
Well, I'm signing up. I'll be
You'll be right there.
A charter member with you.
There you go. Thank you, Assemblyman. Appreciate it. Assemblyman Robert Auth right there, representing the 39th Assembly District in Bergen and Passaic Counties in the great state of New Jersey.
Everybody knows this guy. Now, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.